All right, guys. So if you did not know that today was Nutrition Talk, you are dumb and you don't read. So I'm just gonna call it out, okay? We announce it 3 times, actually I think 4 times, and almost like every single day. But it's okay, it's your lucky day because you'll actually learn something that can probably apply to your life, okay? So today, we're gonna be talking about flexible nutrition, hence the shirt, and that you guys are all here. Hopefully some of you are willing to come, other people it's just like,
so there's not a 5 o'clock? And it's going to be like 6 p.m. or can I work out inside?
no, not today, okay? So, today we're going to be talking about nutrition. We ran a 12-week seminar last time, and this one right here won the whole goddamn thing. Stand up, Daddy. Look how delicious she is. Woo! Take your day, no. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, so for today, we're going to be talking kind of like a macro, like big picture of what nutrition is, what you guys need to learn, and if you guys want to do a 12-week challenge, we'll enroll you in all of that, okay? So I've got a nice little slideshow. It probably looks better than it's gonna sound, but we're gonna play it super interactive so that you guys can at least learn. You guys are gonna be cooperating, you guys are gonna be participating, and that way it doesn't feel like it's just super regurgitated and you're just kind of falling asleep, okay? So, nutrition. When we start talking about it, the big thing that we need to know is that there is gonna be an endpoint to a diet. Okay? Or if you guys are doing a diet, how long is it going to last? What is your goal for? And what is the intent of why we are on a nutrition plan? Okay? So a little bit of an icebreaker here. I put together 8 things that I think is going to encompass every single reason why people fail on a diet. Real quick, raise your hand if you've ever been on a diet, try to lean out, try to get bigger or stronger or anything like that. Raise your hand. Yeah. Okay, so we've all done it because we've all tried. We've all either failed. How many have failed at a diet? Yeah, exactly. Okay. How many have succeeded on a diet? That's what I like to see too. Okay. So here are the common reasons why you either fail or you get on and off a diet. Okay. If this applies to you, go ahead, raise your hand. Number 1, you're uneducated on how food works. Okay. If you're like, I eat it, that's great, and I turn it into poop, that's not being educated about food. Do you know about protein? Do you know about carbs? Do you know about fats? Do you know about micronutrients? Do you know about things like that? Raise your hand again on that question if you know about food or if you don't know about food. If you know about it, raise your hand. If you know about it? Yeah. If you practice it, raise your hand. All right, not bad. So half and half. Number 2, you are all in or nothing. I'm either on a diet or fuck it. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. Number 3, your habits are sabotaging you. Every time you go in the living room, or go past the kitchen, you grab a handful of goldfish. Okay. On Fridays, you get shit-faced. Yeah, on Saturdays, you get shit-faced. Okay, you don't know how to cook. Yeah, okay, it happens. All right.
I know how to cook.
You sleep bad.
Oh, right here.
Okay. You have stress.
Yeah.
Okay. The lies you tell yourself about being on a nutrition plan. As in like, I'm gonna eat better tomorrow. I'm gonna start on Monday. It's January 1st. Okay. You don't know how to cook or you don't know how to work with nutrition. Okay? And then you're not willing to be the black sheep. As in, I'm not gonna go out on Friday. I have to drink, otherwise I'm not cool. Okay? Or I'm not gonna bring my Tupperware to Thanksgiving because they're gonna make fun of me. Okay? Parties, I don't want to go because I don't want to bring stuff. Oh, I don't want to drink. If that's a problem, then those 8 things are a reason that sabotaging your nutrition or your goal or whatever that is. Okay? So that's a nice little icebreaker. Can anybody think of another reason other than your genetics on why you can't lose weight, get lean, build muscle, and or have another excuse? Okay, and I've covered that. Awesome. So here's what we're going to do. I'm going to hand out some whiteboards. You guys are all used to this. And I'm going to hand out a marker. I want you guys to get with somebody super close to you, at least 3 or 4 people in a group. And I want you guys to write down 3 questions that you guys all have in common. Okay? So, you guys can write down. I'll just get a marker in a second. You guys, yeah. And then we're going to answer legitimately every one of these in the next 90 minutes. And then if you guys can, let's have everybody grab a marker. So with your group, go ahead, ask your questions.
Just random questions we have about the trip.
Hey, you got one hiding in the back.
He's not hiding, I see him.
Here goes the whiteboard. There's just a marker.
Got it. All right, guys, I'm going to give you 2 minutes. Go ahead, write down your top 3 questions that you guys want answered in this class, okay?
We'll put that as an item. Okay.
God, it's my bed.
One minute, guys.
George, you had a question? Huh?
I love that question. That's a great question.
She said it doesn't look like you eat pizza.
A lot of people say that.
She wrong.
She won't. She's got to add you to the story.
All right, everybody good? All right, I'm gonna come around, I'm gonna go ahead and grab your guys' whiteboards, and then I'm gonna announce every single question, and then from there, within hopefully the next 90 minutes, I'll answer everything for you guys. All right, delicious. Thank you. Thank you. Everybody's good? All right, guys, so I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to put all these questions up. We're going to literally talk about each and every single one of them, and the way that you guys know that I'm not from the future, I'm just going to go ahead and we're going to scratch them all off. So, board number 1, why is it so complicated? Because you're uneducated. Bam, answer that one.
That was easy.
Okay, all right, perfect. How to measure food, we will go over that one. What are good carbs versus bad carbs? Okay, that's the question that we're going to leave up. I'm going to be working these off as we get to go. How to get leaner, great question. What are recipes that taste good? Don't worry about it. What do we do after a really bad weekend? That's a good one. One more time, what do we do after a really bad weekend? I'll help that one. And arms like Angela. More biceps. Okay, got it. That was nice. Good. All right. Holy shit, what serial killer wrote this? How to manage meals on a tight schedule. Okay, good one. How do you control lose fat and keep muscle mass? Great question. How does sleep really affect if anything is perfect? That's going to be really mind-blowing for you. Can you diet without measuring? Yes. Go on. Can you substitute alcohol calories for food calories? No. Want to know why? Because alcohol is, see, any kids in here? Okay, fucking poison. Literally. You know what alcohol is? It's yeast piss, as in urine. That's what alcohol is. So no.
So good.
What a dick, telling the truth. It's crazy. Okay.
The show's over now?
Yeah. How hands-on is this program? Spreadsheets, accountability. No spreadsheets unless you guys can go ahead and generate those. And then we will have all the accountability every single week. We're going to be doing weekly check-ins. And each and every single time you guys have availability to shoot me a text, give me a call, and we'll talk about all that other stuff on it. Okay? So when it comes to alcohol, you're literally poisoning yourself. That's how you're like, oh my god, I can't dance. Oh my god, this is such a great decision to do this. And then the next morning you feel like absolute shit and dog, like, just completely away. Like, do we really need any questions on alcohol? I get it, it's a legit question. But carbs, 4 calories per kcal, okay? Protein, 4 kcal carbs, or calories. Fat, 9. Alcohol, 7, okay? And out of those 4, only 3 of them help you. The fourth one literally subtracts everything from you, gives you cancer, gives you Alzheimer's, fucks up your sleep, gets you fatter. You're probably going to be uglier. You're going to age more. You're going to be sleep deprived. You're going to be stressed, and there's nothing that helps other than like that fun memory you had. Question?
If you remember.
If you recover. Yeah. So like that's just honest. So better sleep habits. Cool. Staying on track, and then I'm guessing this is what to avoid. Guess what I would say avoiding when you're on a nutrition challenge. Woo! Let's put cocaine on that list too, okay? Like, everybody get it? Like, that's what I'm saying, okay? Be some motivation. Nutrition is not that hard. Alright, what are our macros? Every single person is going to get sent a set of macros. When I find out everything from you guys, what your goals are, what nutrition means to you, and how you guys can work in a kitchen, I'll tell you what you guys' macros are, and I'm going to send that email to you guys after all of this, okay? Why don't I see results even if I follow a macro plan? Because your macros are off, or you're lying to actually what macros you're in, or you don't know how to measure macros. Does that make sense? Man, I'm good at this. This is great.
It's like you almost did this before.
Yeah, it's like I've done this before. Will we have food? Will we have to weigh our food for life? No. I haven't weighed my food in 4 years. Done. Okay. Can I eat carbs all day or all before noon? Okay, great question. How can I use food as fuel to perform better? Excellent question. Can we eat pizza and pasta? Hell yeah, I had bagel bites, a full deep dish pizza, and I've had pasta. No, I haven't had pasta. But yeah, you can eat all that and still have abs. Questions? George, get the camera ready. All right, guys, so those are the questions that I'm going to be knocking off as we start to go through. Is there anything else other than if you're confused about alcohol that you guys were confused about other than genuine nutrition? Okay, real quick question. If I were to ask anybody here what good nutrition is, what do you think they would say? So, Daddy, what is good nutrition?
Eating a well-balanced, healthy meal.
Okay, what is a well-balanced, healthy meal? Wrong. It can depend on every single person. Okay, and also.
Good person.
Yeah, I like that. I like that. Okay, in a real meal though, what would you put on the plate?
Protein, some carbs, some fats, fish, balance, protein.
Okay, specifically, what are good things that you put on the plate? Like what foods are going to be on the plate? Chicken, sweet potatoes, vegetables. Ooh, vegetables. Oh, that's weird. You guys know how to cook those? If not, that's why you should be in this class. Okay? Everybody, if I were to even ask a 7-year-old, what is good nutrition? They wouldn't say corn dogs, fast food, chicken nuggets. Super simple. Eat real fucking food. Okay? Eat real food with high protein. Eat vegetables, things that grow from the ground, things that grow from the plant, things that we hunt, things that we can obviously get from the grocery store. Stay on the outer perimeter of aisles. The more junk and processed food you eat, you're going to get destroyed. I'm sorry. And one thing that you're going to realize, if you've been in here for over a year, raise your hand. This gym, over a year. Okay. If you've been in this gym and you worked out at least twice to 3 times a week for a year, raise your hand. Okay. If you haven't lost weight, you've stayed the exact same size, you haven't gotten stronger, faster, or leaner, raise your hand. Yeah. Okay. So if that happens, if we're going to the gym every single time is different from me than it is from you, than it is from the person you're sitting next to, what's wrong? So nutrition is a third of the protocol, okay? The first one is going to be how much activity do you actually do, okay? Calories in versus calories out is the most simple equation of this entire thing. If you burn more than you eat, you will lose weight, even on cookies, pizza, bagel bites, pasta, even alcohol, but that's not gonna help you build muscle. We'll get back to that, okay? If you are gaining weight, not getting stronger, and you're doing everything, you are either messing up the other two. So, exercising is one, stress is the second one, third is your sleep, okay? Or your recovery of all that stuff. 33%, let's just give that a broad number, is gonna be how much you work out, how much you move, how much you sweat, how much your body in general will burn. The other is gonna be what you consume. The other one is how you recover to stress and sleep. Any questions on that? So, for everybody's well-being, we all know that vegetables are good, we all know that protein's good, we all know that chicken's good, we all know that all that stuff's good. why do we continue to eat or drink what else is bad?
Does it taste good?
Does it taste better than real food if you stop eating what tastes good? Exactly. The reason that it tastes good is because it's genetically modified to make you think that it's better than what protein tastes like, that chicken tastes like, that somebody who cooks you something good tastes like. You can't tell me that a fluffernutter full of Nutella and like whatever the hell else it is tastes better than a steak with real avocado, with asparagus, with oil from a very good restaurant. Would everybody agree with that? Okay, so you are tricking your taste buds genetically by taking easy options that are really quick to make or to grab or to like buy. Does that make sense? Okay, super simple. So you guys all know what nutrition is. You simply are either running away from the problem because you don't know how to cook. I lost the remote again. That's why it goes in the bucket. Or because you don't know how to cook, your sleep is bad, your stress is bad, you don't know what recipes are going, or you're uneducated on food in general. So I just fixed every single problem that you guys have ever had. Now we're going to get a little bit deeper into it. Okay. One thing that's super different, we talked about this last seminar. The difference between goals and the reason that I don't work with goals, I work with systems, is because goals are not what leads to success. Okay? When you think about goals, you leave a win or lose mindset at the end of it. If you reach your goal, you're happy and you're cool. Okay? If you don't reach your goal, you're a piece of shit and your mom doesn't like you and neither does your kids and your husband doesn't like you and your wife thinks that you're ugly. Really bad. There's no gray area in between that, right? The other thing is, you gotta make common sense common practice. So, you guys all know that eating vegetables is better than alcohol. Eating chicken is better than a fluffernutter. That Nutella isn't as good as an apple, okay? Yet we still do that because you're not putting common sense into common practice. Does that make sense? Cool. Okay. So the other thing about goals that's really interesting is they don't do anything. If you guys think about moving towards something, this is a really good quote I saw. The first step towards getting to your goal is to decide that you're not going to stay where you are. Okay? If I continue to do the same thing that I'm doing right now, why would anything else change? That is literally the definition of being crazy. Crazy does not mean that you're a lunatic. It means that you do the exact same thing, hoping for a different result. Okay? If 2 plus 2 is 4, if I put the other 2 where the other 2 goes, it's still 4. Okay? If I do 2 plus 2 a third time, it's still 4. Okay? If I ask Ian, what's 2 plus 2? It's still 4. Okay? So if you eat, drink, don't exercise, like don't do anything, do drugs, don't sleep, have a lot of stress, you're not fixing the problem, so you're going to be in the exact same spot every time. If you don't change, you will not change. Does that make sense? Okay. The other reason why goals don't make sense is anybody watch any of the Olympics? Winter Olympics, Summer Olympics, any of the Olympics. Do you think that any Olympian that has made it doesn't have a goal to win gold? You think these people have spent their entire life obtaining one goal that they're there, and their goal is what separates them from winning? No. So the goal does nothing in order to help you. It's the systems that you have and that you implement that are going to actually change. So now we know that goals, one, will either leave you with a win or lose, or goals don't actually separate and do anything for you. Everybody clear on that one? Okay, cool. So here's some steps that are going to help you guys to that. The next step is, again, not focusing on goals, but working on the systems. Making everything common practice that you actually know what to do instead of just saying, I'm going to do this better, okay? Step 1, focus on commitment, not motivation. You can interchange that with discipline because I'm not motivated to work out every day. I know that's a surprise, but I'm not. Today I didn't work out. Why? Because I just didn't have the motivation, but I have commitment to always being fit because my body is my business card to you guys, and also I actually just generally like it. If you guys only work on motivation, you'll only be on a diet December 31st, like March 5th, and then all of a sudden you're like, you see a bikini ad, or you see like a Jack Rich Froning doing something, so you might work out like 4 times a year, okay? If you guys are disciplined though, you'll say every Monday at 5 p.m., when I get off of work, I drive past the gym, I should probably go to the gym, okay? And each and every single time, now you're not let down by Rich Froning's abs, or Tia Claire Toomey, or my brother's coming to town, or I have a beach trip in Aruba. You will make sure that you are disciplined at all times, not just motivation. Because motivation goes away super simple. Sometimes McFlurry tastes really good to me too. So it's It's not that I don't like McFlurries, it's just that I know it's going to impede the results that I'm trying to work. Okay? So motivation is something just like a goal. It helps, but it's not always there. Okay? Discipline and routines and systems can always be implemented, and they're always there. Questions on that? Everybody good? Okay, here's the big one, which is why you guys are all here. Seek knowledge, not results. Every single member that I always have goes, actually, where's, no, Easy's not here. So this whole thing started, I was in the front, and Easy, the random suspect, comes up to me and goes, I gotta ask you, nobody's here. I gotta ask you something. Easy, tell me, what do you want? What do you want? He goes, how the fuck do you stay so skinny all the time? One, I took that as an insult. I'm not skinny, I'm fit as fuck. Okay, number two, it's because I have systems. And I'm not skinny all the time, it's just I'm not heavy, or I'm not gaining weight. Or maybe I am gaining weight, but I'm building muscle, okay? The entire reason I am always saying skinny as fuck is because I have a system that I continuously repeat because I'm seeking knowledge on how to get it better. Knowledge is something that compounds just like the stock market, or just like dividends. Mark works with money and he knows what compound interest is, and that means that every single time that you build in wealth, it's going to compound almost exponentially. They call it like the 8th greatest wonder in the world in the finance world, right? Pretty much. Knowledge is the same way. The more that your brain grows, the more that your life is going to grow. If you stay closed-minded and you don't seek knowledge-only results, you're going to simply stay where you are. Everyone says like, you know what? I think I'm going to do the 75-day hard. I'm going to do that workout. It sounds great. Everybody gets results on it. Here's what they're doing. They're working out twice a day. Okay, you're training more and more volume. Perfect. Okay. One of them is getting you outside. So you're working out more and you're getting vitamin B from the sun. You're not able to drink. Oh, so you're cutting calories. Okay. And you have to be on a diet. I'm sorry, you mean you're changing your fucking life and you're wondering why that works? It's because you're doing a system. And the second that you fall off the system, it's gonna fall apart. And it's just something that you are simply doing to get to a goal or a result. You're not seeking knowledge of why you're doing it, so that's why when you're doing it, it works. When you stop, it doesn't work. Does that make sense? Yeah. Who likes to eat or knows about what paleo is? Eating.
I know.
Okay. Eat real food. It's so weird, it works. It's so crazy. And drink alcohol. That's so crazy. Okay? Does anybody know what? Hey, why don't you calm down over there? No. Cut it out. Okay. So all of these diets work because there is a system in place that you're actually saying, okay, until December 31st, I'm going to go ahead and I'm not going to drink and I'm going to eat less and I'm going to work out more. And then all of a sudden you're like, man, that's crazy. That didn't work. No. The system works. You finally worked, and that's why you got results. Okay? That's why it works. So you make sure that each and every single time you're getting educated. The reason that we're going to be having weekly check-ins is because Daddy's like, Vince, I don't know what macros are. I don't even have a food scale. And all of a sudden, I send Daddy a link. Here's a food scale, Daddy. Why don't you learn how to use it? Hey, Daddy, this is how you measure protein. Why don't you measure protein and then record it? Daddy records it. And now for the rest of Daddy's life, she's lost how much weight in the last 12 weeks? Or in the challenge?
Last year, like 50.
50? Wow. 50! And in the last 12 weeks that we did the challenge, it was 30 pounds. So 3/5 of it was why? Because Daddy educated herself, she listened to the goal, and she stuck to the system. One more round of applause for Daddy. Delicious. She is. Which brings me to my next point. Make it fun. Okay? Norma is a great cheerleader of Daddy, and so is the rest of this gym, because it's fun. Okay? If you do something that sucks, you're only going to do it for so long. I don't care how disciplined you are, I don't care how motivated you are, the more it sucks, the more you're not going to want to do it. The more fun you have, which losing 50 pounds, super fun. Okay? Every single time you do that, we have a snowball effect. We just had like a snowmageddon. You guys don't know what a snowball is? Put one on top of the hill, and all of a sudden it gets bigger and bigger and bigger and bigger, and it gets better and better. Just like Daddy's education, just like Daddy's success. Okay? Other people succeeded really well, but you have to make it fun. If it's not fun, that's why you guys don't go to LA Fitness. That's why you don't go to Oak Brook, like X-Store. That's why you don't go to places like that. You go here because it's fun and it keeps you coming. Okay? So in your nutrition world, you gotta make it fun. You have to educate yourself. If you guys are making it work, you're gonna already add another heavy emotional weight to the problem that you're trying to solve. Does that make sense? Okay, super simple. Everybody's having fun, I like it. So the next one, step 3, is also make it fun. Step 4, remove your crazy. Stop doing the same shit over and over again. Like I said, if I keep waking Yaz up at 2 a.m. and expecting her to be happy one day, you don't know Yaz, okay? But the problem is I know that I have to change it. We just got a stupid puppy. I don't even like her. Literally.
Yes, you
No, I don't. You're wrong. I didn't like her until yesterday. Why? Because she was pissing everywhere, she was biting everything. I like Nana more, and she cost me like $4 grand and I'm poor. Okay? Now, as of 2 days ago, she learned how to be potty trained. She's kind of cute now. She's kind of cute. She stopped fucking biting me. Kind of like it. I kind of want to cuddle her. She's a little warm now. So, before that, if she kept doing the same things, I don't like her. I didn't ask for her. I didn't want to pay for her. I don't even fucking care to have another one. But now that all those things are happening, the crazy is gone, and I'm starting to have fun with it. And I want you to make sure that you're not remaining stagnant. So, Yaz, my better half, you guys all know, was really smart, and she was like, we're gonna get this bitch on a schedule, and we're gonna change everything that's happening in her habitat to make it easier to make me like it. AKA, I'm not smart, I got brainwashed. Cool. Step 5, be positive and flex that shit, okay? If you're continuously talking down to yourself, God, gained another pound, I'm such a piece of shit. Ugh. It's gonna keep happening, okay? You're gonna keep thinking you're a piece of shit. And then at work, you're gonna be like, oh, I didn't make that deadline. Keep procrastinating. Monday, okay. And then Monday comes around, you're like, McFlurries are good. So good. Do you like Oreos or Reese's? If you like Reese's, leave the room, okay? Order McFlurry all day. So you gotta make sure that you are positively self-talking. And that's the other thing that's really good about the 12-week challenge. If you guys were in it, ask Irene. Everybody was like, damn, Irene, you're looking good today. And then Irene was like, really? Really? Tell me more. Go on. And then all of a sudden, Irene starts singing in the mirror. You look good. And then all of a sudden it builds, okay? Your brain and your motivation and your mindset is a muscle that you have to flex, okay? If you keep negatively talking to yourself, it's gonna keep getting worse and worse. You're gonna build that monster so big that you're gonna be paralyzed by even the thought of doing something else, seeking knowledge, making it fun, things like that. Next one, this one's serious. Be aggressively honest with yourself. If at night you sit at the edge of your bed and you find out, you literally just have a moment of clarity, you get a moment to think to yourself, what is my fucking problem? What is truly wrong in my life? Why I can't lose weight? Why can't I sleep? Why can't I exercise more? Why am I not getting that promotion? If you are honest with yourself and you're like, well, it's because I don't turn in my work that I need to turn in. Well, it's because I keep going out on Friday nights and I stay out till 2 a.m. Well, it's because I keep grabbing all the goldfish every time I go to the kitchen. Well, it's because I don't know how to cook. Well, it's because I don't ask Yaz if she really eats sweet potatoes, bananas, and honey for a cheat meal. Okay, all of those things, you're not being honest with yourself, and you're like, I'll just start over. Okay? You have to be honest with yourself. If you're not hitting your goal, it's because of you. On the same token, if you are hitting your goal, it's because of you. If you're not getting the promotion, it's because of you. If you did get the promotion, it's because of you. If you're really fit in CrossFit, it's because of you. I don't get fitter when Yaz gets fitter. Okay? You don't get fitter if I get fitter. You don't eat better if I eat better. It's all about you. Okay? You have to take self-responsibility, and if you don't, you're gonna keep asking yourself the same question every single time. Okay? So the plan is to make a plan, take ownership, and then implement that. Last one, you have to remove distractions. Quick little story real quick that we told last time. It is better to remove a habit than to try to resist it. Okay, I'm gonna say that again. It is best to remove a habit than to try to resist it. Okay? There's a story of an Olympic skier. Every single day in Kentucky, I believe, she rode a horse. Father was a rich man, they had a horse. Every time they would ride their horse, he would have a cigar, she would have a cigarette. And she would ride this horse all the way through her training. She She left Kentucky. She stopped riding horses. She moved to Colorado. She started skiing more, and all of a sudden, she quit smoking. Okay, interesting. She went on to become a bronze medalist in skiing. She came back after all of her success, all of her hard work, and she goes to Kentucky with her father and rides a horse. And immediately, getting on that horse, she craves a cigarette that she hasn't had in over 15 years. Why? Because your brain cannot stop habits from happening if they had a repetitive amount of time in them. This woman was an Olympic skier. She had devoted her life to improving that. But being in the place where she normally smoked cigarettes, her body was already, and her brain was already calculating and signaling cravings to what she wanted. So, it's not that she's not a smoker anymore, it's that she removed the distraction. Okay? When the open comes around and I'm like, I keep eating goldfish, you know what I do? I stop buying them. If they're not in the house, I'm not gonna eat goldfish. If alcohol's not in the house, you're not gonna drink. If you don't go to clubs, you're not gonna drink. If you go to restaurants with steak, you're gonna get steak, okay? It is best to remove the distraction than to resist it. Because if you go out and you're like, I'm not drinking tonight. Nope, not drinking tonight. You're like, all right, don't be a fucking loser. Just have one drink. Come on, be cool. Nah. All right, what kind are you making? And then it's over, okay? If you don't go, you'll have a better chance. When women get pregnant, there's something called a non-negotiable. You're not allowed to drink because it will harm the baby. Okay, I'm not drinking. You remove the distraction right there. I'm not gonna smoke cigarettes, so I'm not gonna buy them. You can't smoke a cigarette if you don't have it. Okay, I am gonna go to the gym to work out. You remove being home, eating bonbons, now you're in the gym, you're working out. Make sense? Super simple. Not anything like groundbreaking here, but it all is common sense that is common practice. So your competition is not other people, it is simply yourself. Again, Yaz is really good at CrossFit, so am I. But me getting better is not because she's getting better, it's because I'm getting better, okay? My mom's lost a lot of weight because she got a lot better. She changed her entire life and she decided enough was enough. At some point you have to draw the line in the sand and say, this is it, I'm gonna change, okay? If you don't, you will continue to be crazy and not the attractive kind, like the kind that messes you up. Super simple, right? Okay. So as we start to go on through it, what we're gonna start talking about is why goals are bad. That is the exact same story. I'll send you guys all this sheet via the Facebook page that we're gonna make. So the same thing with the Olympics. Every single Olympian has a goal of winning gold, but they don't get it because of the goal, they get it because of the systems that they implement and the small improvements that they make every single time throughout their 4-year training. So achieving the goal is also a flash in time, okay? Denny may have lost 50 pounds, but if Denny simply says, Oreo McFlurries are good, you're right, I can't wait to get one. And then she has one every Thursday, guess what 50 pounds are coming back, okay? The reason that 50 pounds has happened is because of the system that she made. But next year, Denny could be 285 pounds, and it could be all Oreo McFlurries. But she was happy while she was doing the system that was working. If you continue to the system, it is no longer a flash of time, it is going to be a prolonged period of time, okay? And anytime that you start to go bad, guess what? Kind of a good thing, if I drink tomorrow, okay, you can drink, yeah, go ahead. But then just don't drink for a bigger gap, okay? If you drink, it doesn't mean you're a piece of shit. It just means I like to drink and I have to moderate it. Or if you eat really bad, if I eat fast food, it doesn't mean that you're now only a fast food eater. It means that maybe at lunch, you can have a better meal. Or dinner, you can have a better meal. You can always switch it by the next meal, okay? So I'm gonna be, if you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your system. So goals, let's get that out. We're gonna only be creating better systems, something that you guys can do for a long period of time, all right? They also restrict your happiness. We talked about that. I'll give you guys that goal as well in those sheets as we start to go through. Like I said, we kind of covered that part. So also the entire thing about what you guys love to do is really what's gonna happen. If you guys work on, or if you guys either listen to an audiobook or if you guys read a book, one book that I highly recommend is a book called Atomic Habits, and it's all about being our 1% better every single day. We did this over 12 weeks last time, and it was really key because you don't have to make this massive shift. If I drink a lot, I'm not gonna be like, hey, I'm never drinking ever again, okay? That's gonna be too hard of a commitment. I'm gonna say, I don't drink Monday through Friday, okay? Or if I eat fast food, I don't have to say, I'm never gonna have McFlurry again. I can say, I'm only gonna have a McFlurry on the first of every month, okay? You have to make a small improvement, 1 little percent at a time. As you start to go through the entire 12 weeks, or the entire year, or however long your system is, you're gonna notice that 1% a day is not very small, and it also compounds. So 1%, if you do that for 365 days, aka 1 year, you're not 365% better. That doesn't make mathematical sense, okay? That would mean you're just 3 and almost 3/4 better, okay? If you improve 1% every day, that number gets larger and larger, and you actually become 37 times better. Not 3 times, not almost 4, 37 times. So Mark, if I was your client, and you were like, I can triple your net worth, I'd be like, man, Gucci, let's do it. If I was like, I don't really care about 3 times, I'd be like, remove the distraction. Look at that. Who's crazy now? Oh my God, look, she's not an asshole anymore. Okay. If Mark said, hey, I can make you 37 times richer in a year, which one are you guys going for? 3 times almost 4, or 37 times? And all Mark did was 1% every single day, he got my income better. So you have to imagine that tiny atomic habits will make you 37 times better, or if you go in the opposite direction, if you get 1% worse every single time, you're gonna be 37 times less than you were. If I went up to Mark and I went, hey Mark, do you know about Dogecoin? Tell me about this cryptocurrency. I'm so excited about it. And then all of a sudden I gave him all my money, and your money went down 37, not percent, times, I would never want to work with that, okay? And even if you lose it 1%, 1 cent, $1, $100, $1,000 every single day, that percentage of that 1% is what is going to kind of traumatize you, okay? So it's only tiny, atomic, like an atom, hence the word atomic, habits that are going to either benefit you or really destroy you, okay? So, all of these questions, let's see. Can I give you cards? Can I do that? Better sleep habits, staying on track. How hands-on is this program? Speak accountability, how to manage, how to get leaner. Okay, we're moving towards it. So, simple graph, right? Real quick. Atomic habits, the power of tiny gains. In the book, this is not mine. This is how much better your trajectory can be if you get only 1% better every single day, or if you get 1%. Thanks for coming, Myra. We will see you next time. If you guys have to leave at any point in time, I don't take it offensive. You guys can peace out. As long as you guys got something from it, I'm really happy with that. Okay? So, once again, stress, the way it compounds, is the same as that 1%. The more stress you start to take on your table, the more you realize you are going to be underwater, and it's going to be really hard to get through. If you have negative thoughts, that's also going to start to do that. What progress is really like is simple habits that will give you what's called latent potential. If I save a bunch of money and I say, hey, I'm gonna go for an investment, I'm gonna put $10,000 in, I slowly have to build that fund $1 at a time. But once I have that $10,000, I can give it to Mark, and Mark is gonna make that 37 times better, okay? Just building up to that 10,000 number, that $1 at a time, that's what we call latent potential, okay? And what that means is, to submit it into the formula, you have to get to that point. If I work out today, and I want arms like Ange, check this out, watch this. If I do this, my arms might not be like Angela today. If I come back tomorrow, and I'm like, my arms are probably not like Ange's. But if I come back and I do this 365 times, every single day, all of a sudden, we have arms like Ange, okay? Because Angela doesn't work out Monday and Wednesday, and then miss a week, and then maybe does a bicep curl. Ange, how many times do you go? 6 out of 7, okay? For 365 days. Ange, how long have you been working out? Okay, Ange is 28, 27, about to be 28 sometime. Her training age, how long she's worked out, is 6 times a week since she was probably 12, 15, let's say. So Ange is 12 years old and working out. Does that make sense? If you just start working out, you are what we call an infant. You have just started working out. So your training age is simply, you're a baby. Ange is a 12-year-old. Ange like knows how to like make cereal, she knows how to like open the dishwasher and shit. She's actually a 12-year-old. If you ask me, I've been working out. My mom put me in soccer at 5. I'm 32. So that is my training age. If you just simply started working out, Margaret, when did you start working out? In general. Okay, 25. Okay, where Margaret is now might be different because of the training age that she did. When she started lifting weights, it was with us. So Margaret's only been here 4 years, 5 years. Margaret's 5 years old, basically, is what I'm saying. So you can't expect a 12-year-old to not be as strong or stronger than a 5-year-old, okay? So when you're like, my name is Magda, and I've been here for like 5 months, and I don't have abs yet. Why don't I have abs? Why can't I deadlift what George deadlifts? Well, because she's a 5-month-old. George has been training a long time and has been training for 25, 12 years, okay? You have to understand that things don't come really quick, okay? It's all about latent potential. And the better you get, the more that you work, as you start to build that up, what you're gonna start to see is more progress compounds over time, okay? So now we know how to get arms like Ange. 365 days, 1 bicep curl. That's all you gotta do. Cool? All right, stop worrying about what can go wrong and start worrying about what can go right. This is more talking about the negative part of how you talk to yourself instead of actually starting to get to a point where you're positively talking about yourself and you're making habits and changes that are going to lead you to be 1% better as you guys go. So, real quick, now that we got all the BS out of the way, any questions that you guys are like, none of that makes sense? Legit question. That's what? Great question. So, we had this exact same question last time. There was a Michigan State microbiologist. The question was, does age really play into your metabolism? I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to try. Hold on. It fucking doesn't, okay? After thousands and thousands of people coming in, they literally put them in a hyperbolic chamber. That means that it records how much heat you exhale and inhale. By the way, that's how you lose weight. You literally breathe it out. FYI, fun fact. They found out how many people's metabolism was up and down based on how young, how old, how wherever they were. And they found that 0.0001% of downtime as you age. Here's the reason why. What did you do when you were 15? Sports-wise. Did you go to gym class 1 hour a day? Okay, did you ride your bike to your friend's house? Or did you drive? Right, okay. Did you drink alcohol? Don't lie to me. Did your mom proctor what you ate? Did you do chores?
Yeah.
Okay, so she rode her bike to all of her friends' house. She played an hour in gym every single day. She probably didn't eat because school was 8 hours long every single day, and you get like 50 minutes to eat mac and cheese and a fucking cracker. And then she was probably in some kind of sport, and then she rode her bike 2 miles to somewhere. They didn't have phones back then because I know how old she is. And then she actually had to ride it right back. So she got about, I don't know, 4 hours of exercise plus a 2-hour soccer practice. And then she was running and playing with her friends the entire time. And she wasn't on TikTok like, oh, good. Puppy, I'm going to order an Amazon card for you. I can't wait to push you around the street. That's why your metabolism goes down, okay? Because you don't have fucking, like, hors d'oeuvres all the single time when you're 14. You don't drink when you're 14. You don't not drive to your friend's house. You don't go on bike rides unless there's a fucking cocktail at the end. Does that make sense? So literally your metabolism is bullshit. Don't give me that argument because I'll send you the article, okay? The reason is you have more money, you have way better taste, you have a car, you have a phone, you can order Uber Eats, and McFlurries are delicious. That's why. If you look at a 13-year-old like, how the fuck are all these kids so skinny? It's because they play 2.5 hours of soccer, then they go home and they're like, you want to shoot some hoops? You want to play? You want to go ride your bike to my house? Dude, this kid's like a marathon athlete, okay? Your kids are in better shape because all they do all day long is walk, ride their bike, play games, and they're fit as well. Cool, great question. It's a legit question. And the reason that everybody asks that is because they're like, well, I just want to know because I'm 39 and that's why I'm gaining weight. No, it's not. It's literally not. I can tell you that, okay? Because if it was, wouldn't every 70-year-old be really, really fat? Wouldn't every 50-year-old be fatter than a 40-year-old? Wouldn't every 30-year-old be fatter than a 20-year-old? Let's think about these. Right? Pretty simple. So, introduction to nutrition. Questions from you guys? We got all of those. Okay? How to self-eliminate your goals. Forget about goals, start working on systems. Boom. The big three: protein, carb, fat. If you want to throw alcohol in there, we already discussed that. It's literally poison, so that's cool. Okay? What diets work and why? Okay. Has anybody ever had success on eating paleo? I have. Okay. Has anybody done the 75 hard? Did it work?
Of course it did.
Of course it
But then
did.
you hit your goal and.
Yeah, okay. Has
Does it
anybody
take
ever
the
did any kind of
76?
diet where they restricted whatever they do and it kind of worked? Raise your hand. Yeah, okay, because they do work if you work. As long as you work, they work. It's funny how that happens, okay? So, all diets work if you work, okay? As long as you commit to the system that you put in place, that stuff will work. So, every single diet works. It's literally, you just have to commit to it. Sleep hygiene is big. Ange and I read and listened to a book called Why Do We Sleep by Matthew Walker. Game changing. If you guys want to have like an hour podcast and you love Joe Rogan, me too, okay? But listen to it. It's about why we sleep and what happens when we sleep. If you guys are getting bad sleep, I can guarantee you it might be 33% of the reason why you're fat, why you're not fit, why you're not stressed, but I guarantee you it's like 90%. It's crazy. Who has had a kid in this room? Raise your hand. Okay. What's that? Your kid is 12?
14.
14. When she was 5, she didn't nap. How much of a bitch was she? Okay. Mom, how bad was I if I didn't get my nap? Yeah. Anybody who's had kids, if your kids don't get a nap or they don't sleep at night, are they not total assholes?
Oh, complete.
Okay. You are no different. If you do not sleep at night, guess what happens? You're angry. You have less patience. Your appetite is way off, like terribly. Are you motivated to work hard? So weird. It's crazy. It's like if you sleep, you're good. Okay. So sleep hygiene is a really big one. Exercise and metabolism. Now that we know that all 70-year-olds aren't fatter than 60-year-olds, and all 60-year-olds aren't fatter than 50-year-olds, you guys know that your age has nothing to do with it. It's all about exercise and your metabolism. What is metabolism? So my brother, who obviously my mom knows, she kind of gave birth to him, is 5'10". At his heaviest, he was 474 pounds, okay? That's not a knock on my brother. My father is 6'2", also probably around 434, okay? I am not 6'2". I'm also not 474 pounds. Why? We have the same mom, we have the same dad? Same dad? Yeah, right? Okay. Why are we so different? Is genetics really a thing?
Choices.
Choices. Correct. Okay. Identical twins. Are they identical? Genetically, yes. But has one twin ever been fatter than another twin?
I have twins.
Oh my God. It's like we're thinking now. It's crazy. Everything's open. There's like no smog. Okay. So metabolism is different. Okay. Genetically, it is different. And guess what? I'm really sorry to tell you, I can't change your genetics. Okay. But I can change your choices or at least help you. So we've all seen a guy or a girl, let's say a celebrity, Sofia Vergara. She is like 1 billion years old and she eats like crazy and she never works out, but she's super skinny. Okay? My brother maybe works out, but he'll never look like me. Why? Because his metabolism is not as high as mine. There's 3 types of people in the world, and this is true. Endomorph, ectomorph, mesomorph. These are anatomical terms that we talk about with people. If you've ever seen an ectomorph, that means that they shed a lot. They have a high exuberance of calories. Those people are very, very skinny. Like, no matter what they do, they can't gain weight. And everyone's like, oh my God, how do I be like that? I'm so excited, how do I be like that? Okay? Everyone's like, oh my God, you're so skinny. Stop saying that to people. Okay? So we'll get real quick. If you say, you're so skinny, I want to be like you, what if that girl's bulimic? What if that guy's been trying to gain weight? What if Easy's like, bro, you're skinny? I'm like, I'm not skinny. Okay? It really is one of those things where being called fat seems like it hurts, but for people, being skinny really hurts too. Okay? So you got to understand that maybe it's not great to be skinny. Maybe it's not great to not be able to build muscle. Maybe it's not great to not be heavy. You talk to an NFL lineman, you're like, bro, you're looking kind of small. He's like, what did you say to me? Okay? So you have to understand that every single thing has a different problem. Okay? For me, I can't get over 165, no matter how hard I try. Unless I just go really off the thing and it's a bad over 165. okay? Some people can't get under 200, but it's because they literally have heavier bones, not bigger bones, heavier and more dense bones, okay? So if you're like, I'm big boned, not a thing. Okay, like they'll shoot an x-ray and that skeleton is the exact same size, but it could be more dense, okay? So no one is big boned, okay? So get that excuse out of your head, okay? A mesomorph is technically what I'm built as, what I look like. It's somebody who's not fat, it's somebody who's not skinny. It looks like somebody who has muscle, but maybe they are like, they really have to work for it, okay? And those people have a little bit of a balance of both. They struggle to get past a certain weight, but they also can't get super light, okay? They might have a six-pack, but they got love handles too. They might have a good chest, but maybe they're like a little pudgy, okay? And they can kind of blend in between. So it's kind of a perfect scenario depending on what you like, but those people have their own same struggles too because, again, I can gain weight if I slack off, and I can lose weight, which is also almost an equal, if not worse problem than gaining weight, okay? My brother looks at a cupcake, he gains 3 pounds. I eat a cupcake, I just say the same, but I eat 200 grams of protein and I can't gain weight, which is super annoying, okay? So a endomorph, unfortunately, is the one that everyone's like, how do I not be that? Endomorph, my brother, you look at a cupcake, you gain 3 pounds, okay? They are meant for strength, size, movement, and power, okay? Could be a really good thing if they apply themselves, or maybe they're just like, I'm stuck like this forever. It's the choices that they make, and it's the reason why people are built the way they're built. Okay, so every one of them has their own problems, everyone has their own solutions. There's 3 types of people, those are them. When we talk about the macros or plate method, that's what we're gonna be discussing about how you can eat pasta, how you can have arms like Ange, how you can get leaner, how you can fuel your body, and a lot of that stuff has to do with how you are eating. When it comes to the plate method or how to stop failing at nutrition, here's how you do it, make it obvious. What's better, asparagus, spinach, or McFlurry? Super obvious, okay? Oreos are delicious, but that's about it. The Q, if you go to McDonald's, are you gonna get asparagus, spinach, or a piece of chicken? Nah, you're definitely getting that McFlurry, and I don't blame you, okay? So you have to make it super obvious. You have to make it attractive. If I have spinach and asparagus and steak, I'm gonna get skinny. I'm gonna get ripped. I'm gonna get built. I'm gonna be stronger, okay? You gotta make it obvious. How to not eat goldfish every time you pass the kitchen? My problem? You stop buying it. Super attractive. You spend $9 on a steak, it's attractive, I'm eating that, I'm not gonna throw that away. You spend $4 on cereal and it has like a limited shelf life, of course you're gonna have it because it's obvious and it's right there, okay? Super simple. Number 3, make it easy. Buy the real food. Get the bad food out of your house. Stop drinking, drink more water. Super simple, okay? Make it super easy. Make it satisfying. Make them have a reward to that. If I lose weight, I'll be able to do a pull-up. If I get more muscle, I'll be able to bench press more. If I do that, I'm for sure buying myself a Lululemon bag that's like over $100. Damn, she did that. She's embarrassed by it, but it's okay because she worked hard, okay? If you do all your reports at work, you might get a raise. You might make more money. You might move out of your house. You might not depend on your parents. You might have a better kid, okay? You gotta understand the reward that you're working with, or if I'm getting Mark as my financial advisor, I wanna have a goal by 35, okay? The goal and the reward is what's gonna accelerate you to stay disciplined, okay? Macronutrients, what are they? Protein, fats, carbs. Protein is literally the body-building muscle or food that is gonna help you build muscle. In today's class, you're gonna find out that building muscle is every single person's goal. If it's not your goal, you have no idea what you're talking about, okay? So carbs are what fuel you to actually build muscle. What? Carbs don't make you fat? No. Carbs don't make you fat. Excess calories make you fat. Guess what? Fat also doesn't make you fat. Excess calories make you fat. The reason that some people have headaches at 12 o'clock is because 1, they haven't drank any water, they've had 3 cups of coffee, or they have no fat, and fats are what actually give nutrition to all your organs. If you don't have any fat, your brain's gonna suck, your heart's gonna suck, your lungs are gonna suck, and your internals are gonna suck. That's why you can't think. That's why actually a lot of people recommended keto, because it's super high fat, super high protein, and it actually stimulates your brain better than a high carb diet, okay? Also, less insulin is produced, which is what makes people fat. The guy who said no carbs, a guy named Atkins, died because of the Atkins diet. Fun fact. Okay, so bad reputation on that guy. So we are halfway as we start to move. Is keto good for CrossFit training? Has everybody heard of like, oh, I'm so keto, bro? Everybody heard of that? Keto could not be worse for CrossFit. The reason is you have no energy to actually redline, to push, or if you don't have carbs, carbs is actually what helps protein transfer to your muscle. So if you eat all the protein you want and lift all the weights you want, but you have no carbs, you like have all the lumber, but you have no workers to build your house. Does that make sense? So that's why you guys need carbs, that's why you need fats, that's why you guys need protein, and that's also why you guys should not drink alcohol. Okay, we'll politely say no for keto. Keto, what that does is it keeps you in what's called homeostasis. Drew, what is homeostasis?
A balanced environment.
And?
I don't know.
So, 99% right. Homeostasis means that I can be in a coma and still survive. Homeostasis means I can be bedridden and still survive. Homeostasis means that I can go outside and not die, okay? It's literally putting you at baseline, okay? And what homeostasis does is you will lose muscle, you will not have energy, and you will only be able to minimally survive, okay? You guys are not here for wellness, you're here for fitness, okay? You're not here not to die, you're here to build muscle, do pull-ups, do active things. Does that make sense? So that's why keto is not ideal for CrossFit, and you will not find any professional CrossFitter, not saying you guys want to be professional CrossFitters, who are on keto, okay?
It also gives bad breath.
It also gives really bad breath. Yeah. And massive, massive headaches. All right. So, paleo for CrossFit. Eating really clean, not drinking alcohol. Good?
Yes.
Yeah, totally. So, totally makes sense. Eat like your ancestors. When people say, oh, but I don't live like my ancestor, we're not doing that. We know somebody who has that, and we also didn't have an iPhone like 2,000 years ago. We also didn't have cars. We also don't have saber-toothed tigers anymore. So stop trying to be like your ancestor. Does that make sense? Okay, but eating clean, that does make sense, even in today's world, even with them. And also, they didn't have McFlurries for them, so they were losers. Make sense?
Yeah.
All right, cool. Intermittent fasting or other things. Has anybody said, I'm gonna do intermittent fasting? Does anybody know about intermittent fasting, or has anybody done it? Okay, does it work? Works if you work, okay? The reason intermittent fasting works is because people stop eating when they're not supposed to be eating. They pick a window and they say from 10 a.m. till 4, I'm gonna eat all my meals and I'm gonna have it scheduled, and then I'm not eating again. What happens at 12 o'clock when you come back from the club and you're in the drive-thru at McDonald's? You're like, man, 2 McFlurries, let's set it up, okay? You're also eating at 12 o'clock at night, which is gonna spike your insulin, which is gonna mess up your sleep, which is gonna be more calories, and you're probably not gonna work out the next day, okay? Intermittent fasting works as if you're a toddler. It's like, hey, Aunt, I'm only feeding you breakfast, lunch, and dinner, that's it. Right now, we're not toddlers. We have too many choices, which is like, man, Cheez-Its are good too. I love DiGiorno's. Giordano's is great. I love them on ice. Okay? The reason that you keep doing that is because you keep making the choice. The more choices you have, the more influx you're gonna have. If you put a limit on it, like intermittent fasting, you're gonna have a lot less calories, to be super easy. So, can I have pasta? Yeah, you can, as long as you have a limit on how much pasta you have. The other thing about carbs, what are good carbs, what are bad carbs? So technically speaking, there's no such thing as a bad carb. Technically speaking, there's no such thing as a good carb. What there is a difference of what carbs do. There is something called a glycemic index. When I eat food, or let's see, who has like a really young kid? Does anybody have like a really young kid? No? 4? 4 works? Okay. If you give your kid a pack of Oreos, what happens in like 36 minutes? Yeah, crazy. What happens in like 1 hour and 36 minutes? Okay. So what generally happens with carbs is if you are on a higher part of that glycemic index, you get a lot of energy really fast. If you don't use that energy, you have love handles now, and you can't see your feet. Okay? If you use all of those, if you eat a banana before you work out, guess what? Really good idea. Okay, high glycemics, you're gonna get a lot of energy. It's gonna produce you to have energy and also to work off energy. Okay? If you have a sweet potato, that's something that takes a long time. It's gonna give you a lot of energy, hence like carb loading for marathons. That's also fake. But when people run for a long time, or they do a lot of cardio for a long time, or a heavy amount of exertion, it's because they have slowly made their glycemic index influx so that they can sustain a long period of time. Okay? But just like carbs, fats, and proteins, if you have too much of them and you don't use it, you're gonna get fat. Does that make sense? So good carbs, bad carbs, no such thing. Okay? The only food that is legitimately bad is something called trans fats. Okay? Trans fats are what we put in food to make them have a longer shelf life, aka they won't spoil or expire. If you get a Big Mac and you put it in a safe for 30 years and you open that bitch up in 30 years, it hasn't even decomposed. What? Like, it's better than concrete and not dying. And we're eating that by choice. Like, it's better than concrete. You can eat concrete and you'll be okay. Okay? So anytime you see trans fat in any food that you guys eat, realize that you're eating concrete with no nutritional benefit. That is the only food that I would say you can eat that is legitimately bad for you. Everything else in moderation is fine. Alcohol is also poison. Crystal meth is poison, okay? Whatever you want to tell yourself, alcohol is not good for you. It's just like how you sign deals, it's how you make sales, and like, yeah, maybe you had a really fun night. That is literally all alcohol will do for you, nutritionally speaking, okay? Same thing with meth, same thing with cocaine, same thing with heroin, same thing with fentanyl, whatever you want.
Are there any like foods that we have that not
Okay, yeah, what about
Yeah, so
plant-based?
what was it? Plant-based. Like tequila?
Weed.
Weed. So weed's not a calorie, right? It's an inhalation. If you breathe a lot of oxygen, are you gonna gain weight? Right.
So we're good.
So you're good. Yeah. So if you want to smoke pot, that's really bad for your lungs. Any inhalation of smoke is bad for your lungs. If you want to do edibles, honestly, the science isn't out, so like eat them up. I don't care. But what happens? What happens when you smoke weed or eat an edible? Damn, I'm hungry. Oh my God, that McFlurry sounds good. So that's your problem, okay? My mom smokes weed. Nobody knows, but I don't. We'll call her out.
We'll run for the McFlurry. There you go. You can push
Yeah. So, as you guys know, that's how you know. Drew asked a really good question. Is there trans fats in other foods that you might not know? Yes. Canola oil, ham, things that you cook with do have trans fats, and sometimes you have to watch that because yes, it has a better shelf life. It's not that high of an amount. Is it bad? It's not great, but it is also something that's in a microdose. Yeah, so like if anything that you guys cook with, just look at it. If it has it on the back, you're not gonna get cancer. You're probably not gonna get fat based on what you cook with, like coconut oil, ham, olive oil, things like that. But you will start to see it. So if you want to look at that, you guys can see that that's there. But that one, I'll kind of give you guys like, you'll be okay. All right. So moral of the story: no diet is one size fits all. It's just based on what you guys want. How many people here are gonna hit me with the I gain muscle easy? I build muscle so easy. Oh my God, it's crazy how much muscle I build. Yeah, sure. Okay, I'll stretch you. So we get a lot of clients in this gym who are like, I don't want to. Wait, okay, I'll just put it there. I don't want to lift weights because I might get bulky. I'm gonna be so jacked. Oh my God. Marilyn. Hi, Marilyn. I'm not gonna swear because I find out Marilyn's here. But no, you don't. You do not build muscle easy. Manny doesn't. Daddy doesn't. I don't. Yaz doesn't. My mom doesn't. No, you don't. Okay. Ange doesn't even build muscle easy. Okay. If you built muscle easy, you wouldn't be here. You'd just be like walking around like all yoked and shit. And you're like, I know everything. I can sell whatever I want. Okay. No one builds muscle easy. So, how to achieve this? You can eat less food. You can work out more. You can raise your BMR. That's your metabolism. We'll talk about that. You can not love. Yeah.
All my people that
Yeah.
I posted my class with, I'm like, you're gonna get bulky.
Yeah, that's like the dumbest thing I've ever heard. Okay? You can also sleep more, and that will help you guys. So there is, I lied. There is two things that build muscle really easy. Okay. One is this damn cow. Yeah, super yoked. Oh my God, right? It has a genetic mutation that will kill it within 4 years. But it does build muscle really well. Okay, so I lied. Oh, I lied again. Hold on. Something else that builds muscle. This goddamn dog. This is called a whippet. And genetically, they have what's called, scientific word here, sorry Ange, a retardation. Okay? I'm not calling it retarded. I'm not saying it's not smart. It has a retardation, which means that the gene is mutated in a wrong way. Real word of retardation. I'm not calling anyone retarded. I'm just saying that this genetically modified animal is retarded genetically. It will also die, and it did die. It's called a whippet. Look it up. Super fun. There you go. You think a pit bull's cool? Look at that thing. Okay? Unless you're a whippet, or unless you're a muscle cow, you do not build muscle easily. Okay? So shed that one away. You will not get muscle easy. It's incredibly hard to build muscle. My entire job is to build muscle, and it's really hard. So if women think that you can build muscle easily, you are lying to yourself, and it's not going to happen. And if you did build muscle really easy, you would be an Olympian. Cool. That was actually kind of jacked, so that just happened. So yeah, only two things will build muscle really easy. Those two. No matter what your goal is. Who wants to lose weight? Raise your hand. Build more muscle. Okay. Who wants to tone your body? Build more muscle. Okay. Who wants to fit into an outfit? Yeah, okay. Build more muscle. Who wants to look like yes? Build more muscle. Okay? Continue living an unrestricted life. Who doesn't want to be weak? Build more muscle. Prevent aging, build more muscle. Look better in the mirror, gain more muscle. Get better at CrossFit numbers, gain more muscle. Cure chronic disease, build more damn muscle. Okay? Super simple. This works for women, this works for men, it works for the young people, it works for old people. Build more muscle. Okay? You need so much more protein than you're eating. Okay? What we discovered before when we did the 12-week contract or the 12-week plan was that women are like, I need a ton of protein. Okay? They had like 26 grams of protein. And they're like, I eat so much yogurt. Oh my God. I have like 4 pecans in my yogurt. I have so much protein. Yeah. No, you don't. Okay? If you guys are trying to build muscle, if you guys are trying to lose weight, if you guys are trying to keep where you guys are, you need 1 gram per 2.2 pounds of body weight every single day. So if I weigh 100 pounds, roughly 1 gram or 1.1 gram of protein per 2.2 pounds or a kilogram of your body weight. Okay? When you guys do that, that will put you basically at a muscle building level or a little bit better than homeostasis. So if I weigh 100 pounds and I only eat 26 grams of protein, I am getting literally half the amount of protein that I get. You know how easy 25 grams of protein is? 1 protein shake, 6 ounces of chicken, 5 ounces of beef. Bang, 1 meal. So women or men who are not getting a lot of protein, you literally could have a piece of chicken. You could have a hamburger. You could have 1 protein shake. You could have 2 cups of nuts. You can have 3 tablespoons of peanut butter. You can have a steak. You can have like 2 bowls of quinoa, and you can have enough protein. When you don't have enough protein, no matter how, let's ask this question. Who's been here for a long time, worked out a lot? Who has gotten stronger, but you can't see your muscle more than you did the first day? Okay, interesting, right? You're building, you're working hard, you're doing everything that you can, but you're not building muscle. But I do. But Ange does. But Yaz does. Why do they build muscle? Are they a whippet? Do I moo at night? Do I have a tail? No. It's because you don't eat enough protein and we do. Okay? It's because you either don't sleep well, you have high stress, you don't recover, you drink alcohol, and you don't have the entire system together. You can build muscle and get stronger and not see it. I know, that's annoying. So, if you're not eating enough protein, you will not build muscle. If you're eating too much excess carbs, you will not build muscle. If you're eating too much excess fats, you will not build muscle. Fun fact, if you eat too much protein, you will also not build muscle. You know what you'll have? Really bad diarrhea. Like, horribly bad. Has anybody ever done a cleanse and they're like, okay, drink four protein shakes and just a lot of water? What happens? You just diarrhea for like 10 days. Because you have too much protein and you haven't had anything else, okay? So you do have to find what number works appropriately with you, and we'll teach you guys that as we start to go through, okay? So if you've been here for a long time, you work really hard, and you have gotten stronger, but you don't see muscle, you're not eating enough protein, you don't sleep well, you have too much stress, and or you don't come as often as you think you do, you're lying to yourself. Question? Cool. Super simple, right? Okay. So, a lot of things, like I said, and I made fun of, a lot of marketing says they have high protein. They don't. They're lying. So, there's like yogurt that says they have high protein, and it's like 6 grams. That's not high protein. Unless something, a food, a unit, or one size of it has 18 grams or 20 grams or more, it's not high protein. It just means it's not as shitty as the other guy's product. Okay? So here's some examples. Some snack buys. Standard cereal has high protein. 2 grams. 2 for those in the back. 2 grams of protein, but 28 grams of sugar. Okay? That's not high protein. Natural sugar and added sugar. Yogurt and fruit. Literally no protein. Okay? Like 0. Like only carbs. Okay? Granola bars, they have 4 grams of protein. Oh my god, those are delicious. They're also super messy. Has anybody had a Neutral Valley in their car? Yeah. You're never getting that away. Okay? It's because they don't have protein in it. Some baked beans. Baked beans, they think it's like a superfood. It is 6 grams of protein per serving. So unless you're about to have 5 servings of beans, oh my god. Yeah, that'll be terrible. Okay. So, into the important portion, okay? Let's talk about sleep. Josh has a 4-year-old, and when that one doesn't sleep, it's a nightmare, okay? You are basically a 4-year-old. If you don't sleep well, your metabolism, not your age, will impact your sleep. If you get to a point where you're like getting super lean and you're starting to hit your goals, and all of a sudden you start sleeping better, I'll let you in a little fitness secret. Sometimes I wake up and I'm like, I've got more abs than I had last night. I'm dead serious. I'm like, whoa, I'm super lean right now. If at some point in time you start to realize the other thing, if I get wrecked with stress, if Billy, my new dog, is pissing on the carpet and I wake up at 2 o'clock, I will have less abs than I went to sleep. I will have more love handles in a week because of sleep. When you sleep, it basically is the ignition of your metabolism, aka the more I sleep, the more calories I burn, on top of the calories that I eat, on top of the amount of time I work out. So the better you sleep, the leaner you'll be. Fact. The more you sleep, the more muscle you'll have. Also fact. Ron, my dog's gonna sabotage your water bottle. The more you sleep, the better you will eat. The more you sleep, the better you will think. Fun fact, 2 years ago now, Colorado University studied that 94% of people who get Alzheimer's disease have complained about not sleeping their entire life. They went into these people's brains and they cut them open. And they found that your brain has no like ducts. So no plumbing, no sewage disposal. They found that when you don't sleep, a mucous membrane secretes over the brain, and when you don't sleep, it stays there and it clouds it. And at some point, you start getting less axons and dendrites, which is basically like, I want to move my hand. Your brain sends a signal and sends it out. When it gets corrupted because of no sleep, that axon starts to die, and even if I think it, I can't move my hand, or I cannot process thoughts. What they found was there's no secretion system, there's no blood, there's no like anatomy to excrete that stuff. And then what they found is, how does it get rid of all the waste? They did a thermal scan, an MRI scan, which is magnetic resonance imaging, and they found that when people slept, it literally just oozed out. So it literally slid down people's throat, you secreted that way, and those people had less cloudiness compared to the brains that did have Alzheimer's. Fun fact, if you don't want Alzheimer's, start sleeping better. Okay? And everything else that happens in sleep is really impressive. Now, who has ever gotten really drunk, like really drunk, and then they fell asleep at 4 o'clock a.m. and they slept till 2? Yeah, okay, we've all been in college, we've all been a teenager. You're like, but I slept 8 hours. Yeah, you did, you really did. But sleep is actually like a buffet line, okay? If you sleep at 9 till 7, that is way better than sleeping from 2 a.m. until 2 p.m., okay? The buffet line analogy, if I go up to a buffet line, there's cereal, ice cream, pancakes, McFlurries, a lot. That's what happens at 7 a.m. all the way, 8 a.m., I would say maybe 9, all the way until 7 p.m. So if you're at that buffet table, those sleep hours, you are literally eating the worst possible thing or getting the worst possible sleep. So guys or ladies who work overnight, you know why you're always tired? Because you're not sleeping at the time domains that you need to. When you sleep at 8 p.m. till 7 a.m., you go through these things called REM. They're phases of sleep that are deep sleep, light sleep, moderate sleep, and you have to cyclically go through those checkpoints in order to get good sleep. Anybody who's woken up at 2 a.m. and then they were up until 4 and then they fell back asleep for another 3 hours, you know how shitty that feels. It doesn't feel good. Sometimes you take 17 melatonin at 9 o'clock and then all of a sudden you wake up at like 8 and you're like, I'm a brand new person. And like you like your spouse and like workouts are easy and then like you make more money. It's crazy, but there is time domains in where you need to sleep. And if you move past that line or disrupt your sleep, you will get only negative things no matter the quantity that you get. Because sleep is just like food, just like exercising. It's about quality over quantity. Okay? You have to have the appropriate sleep as you start to go through. So 2/3 of adults throughout all developed nations fail to obtain the recommended sleep hours of nightly sleep. Fun fact, everybody know what daylight savings is? Okay, what happens at daylight savings, Micah? You lose an hour and then you gain an hour. Did you know that in, I think it's January 5th through January 20th, heart attacks, strokes, ambulances, car crashes, murders, and the volume of people who say they have depression raises 247% every single year. Why? We lost an hour of sleep. That's the true answer. They lost an hour of sleep. Their sleep is pushed back or moved forward 1 hour. So think about that. 247% because of 1 hour for 3 months, right? So that's how important sleep is. If you guys are not getting the right sleep, your physical and your mental is going to be heavily impacted, and that's a serious problem. So we've got 10 slides left. We're almost there. If you guys want exercise and sleep 6 hours, let's say that Ange, who is super fit, she's a really good coach here. She cranks her workout. She made it through quarterfinals. If Ange has a big workout the next day and she gets 6 hours of sleep, no matter how fit she is, let's say that she has 100 units of oxygen, if you get 6 hours, 30% of that is taken away. And there's nothing you can do about it. So, when like NFL stars, boxing stars, and all these people who mess up their sleep, and they're like, man, I just couldn't perform, because they got so hyped up that they couldn't sleep, they slept less, and 30% of their aerobic capacity was taken right off before they even entered the ring, stepped on the field, or kicked a ball. Okay? So if you're like, man, my cardio sucks. 1, it's probably because you don't do enough. 2, it's because maybe your sleep is that bad. Or 3, is because you had no recovery from the night prior. Does that make sense? So sleep is huge. If you want to improve it, sleep more. People who only sleep 5 to 6 hours, in general, on a daily basis, eat 300 to 600 calories more per day. Does anybody know how many calories equals 1 pound? That's mine. 2,400 calories per day will gain 1 pound. Anytime you eat 2,400 calories, that's that. So if every single time you sleep bad, you eat 300 to 600 per day, do the math to get up to 2,400, you'll gain 1 pound every single time you do that. So if you're sleeping bad each and every single day, remember when you're like, man, when I was 20, I was like 140 pounds. And now I'm 34 and I'm like, not 140 pounds. Like, it compounds like that because of how many bad days of sleep you have, how many days you're doing 1% of more or less calories, and it really starts to blow up. Now, the one that I've been harping on the most, alcohol. Serious, legit problem. If you drink alcohol past 1 p.m., dead serious. Matthew Walker, go ahead and read the book, Why Do We Sleep, listen to it, whatever you want. Past 1 p.m., you've destroyed 3 nights of sleep. Like, destroyed it. And if you're like, yeah, but I got super shit-faced and I slept all the way through, you did, but you literally got no REM of sleep. You could drink before 1.
Okay.
1. Yeah. It will wreck your sleep though. So, no matter what, as you guys sleep, you could be asleep, but you will not get any rest. If you wear any kind of wearable, like a Whoop, an Apple Watch, I think it's an Oura Ring or something like that, all you have to do is wear it for 30 days. Don't drink. Drink one time. Drink one goddamn drink. Just one. I dare you. I double dare you, mother effer. That's Samuel L. Jackson. You will go, whoom, and you'll see it. I got my second COVID shot and the booster. I recovered better than I did Thanksgiving when I had one drink. Who's gotten their second shot? Remember how bad that hurt? Yeah. Some people did. Yeah, probably kids and some people did. But one alcohol after 1 p.m. will destroy your sleep, which is a snowball effect into everything else. So when people ask, why doesn't Yaz drink? It's not that. She just hates the taste. Really. Why don't I drink? Because I know that. So like when I say I don't drink, that doesn't mean like, oh, I have 3 beers a week. No, like I don't drink because I'm scared of the continuous repercussions that it hits me. Do I think you guys are never going to drink ever again? No. Am I saying never ever drink again? I'm really not. But I'm saying if you have a 12-week goal, if you have a fitness goal, if you want to improve your life for a certain amount of time, you probably just shouldn't drink. Okay? Because everything is going to be a conjugated and cascading event of all these systems that you're going to mess up. And it all comes down to either one glass of alcohol or missing 3 hours of sleep. Question? Yeah. Yeah. So there's a couple ways. So with chronic insomnia, that is something that, like, I'm not a psychiatrist, I'm not a doctor by trade, but there is generally reasons why insomnia happens. Insomnia number 1, right here. Okay. 1, you're thinking about the future or the past. Okay? If you start to think about people who have insomnia, they're worried about what's going to happen in the future, which means that they're worried about something that hasn't happened yet, or they're worried about something in the past that has already happened that has no implications of what's happening now today. Problem 1 is stress of what's happening in the future or the past. Number 2, you have a list of things in your mind that at night, when you lay down, all of a sudden you start remembering all of these things. You're like, oh my God, I forgot to text Angela. Oh my God, was that going to tell me about this? Oh, Mary was going to tell me that. You can take a notepad, write it down, and from that point, it's off your brain and you don't worry that you're going to forget what you're going to do the next day or what you need to do. Number 3, some people just struggle to go to sleep. My mom can drink a cup of coffee at 9 o'clock, and then by 9:02, she can just put her head down and she's going to sleep. Okay? There's times where I cannot go to sleep because of, I have no idea. And Yaz, I think on Wednesday, goes, hey, I saw your Whoop. Why does it say that you slept 2 hours and 36 minutes on Wednesday? And I said, because I fucking slept 2 hours and 36 minutes that day. Sometimes I just don't know. Sometimes you just kind of have your mind going, and maybe you need to try some kind of breath work. Sometimes maybe you should work out that day. Maybe sometimes like ate something that sugar was a high kind of product that kept your system up. Could be what you eat. There's a lot of answers to that, but you just gotta try to figure out. Cool. Okay. So to repeat, if you're trying to build muscle, you really need to sleep. Don't drink alcohol. Don't have high sugar. Don't have a high glycemic index meal before, and if you need to, write everything down. Cool. 2 things that we're going to talk about is the plate method and macros. Okay. Some people don't like to measure their food because they feel like it's a prison. They feel like it's this Rubik's Cube that they can't figure out, and that's fine. But what you can do is something called the plate method. Plate method is you simply, I think Michelle Obama actually made it up. You take a plate, and in 3 sectors, you put protein, carbs, fat. Boom, done. You only have 1. Moderation, it shows you how much protein you should have. You should have a third of fat. You should have a third of carbs if you guys have an active lifestyle. And we'll show that kind of method as you guys start to go through. So if you are somebody like Norma, who has had extreme success with the plate method, she never macro counted, she never found out how many grams of protein are in a piece of chicken, but what she did was she limited her meal and she started to see, okay, I need these 3 requirements of protein, carbs, fat on every single plate, because if not, you're gonna be outsourced on either protein, you're gonna be maybe misplaced on fat, you may be misplaced on vegetables. So there's a lot of times where you're like, I just want a steak and that's it, okay? You only had protein and you're lacking the other two components of your meal, okay? Some people might argue that fiber is one of the macronutrients. You can make that argument, but you're gonna have fiber no matter what. If you are having those other three consistently, you're gonna have fiber. Fiber, if you guys don't know, is what helps you digest food, and it AKA turns food into poop and really healthy. Cool, that's what fiber is for. So, some of the action items that you guys can do is remember to do the plate method. If you guys don't know what macronutrients are, it's like I was saying, when you have protein, you are having, this is actually a really good way. So the plate method is really good too. It makes it super easy. Some people, when they travel, they're like, Vince, I'm not gonna have my scale, my food scale, when I get on an airplane. Vince, I'm going to my house in Florida and I don't have a food scale there. Hey, I'm sleeping over at my girlfriend's house and she doesn't have a food scale, so does that mean I can't eat? No, it doesn't. What you can do is you can take your own hand, and really fun fact, your own hand actually tells you how to eat for your body height and weight, generally, depending on how active you are. Your thumb is actually a perfect measurement of how much fat your meal should have. So if I had a piece of avocado, you just put your thumb against it, that's how much fat you have. If you have ribeye steak, you should put your thumb next to the fat, cut off any fat that's more than your thumb. Your fist is actually a really good amount of time for how many carbs you should have. You could have 1 or 2 of rice, of potatoes, of whatever. You don't need a scale. The palm of your hand is generally the palm, or the size of a deck of cards. That's how much protein you should have. Salmon, beef, chicken, if you're vegetarian, whatever the hell you guys eat to get protein, it's just stupid, but whatever. So your palm is actually how much you guys should have, okay? So that's the plate method. Non-starchy vegetables are 1/3 of it on the left side, the bigger third of it, I should say. That one's a little bit of an overestimate. Protein on one side, and then carbs, and then they recommend some kind of either 0-calorie drink or like a milk or water, something with more of those, okay? So plate method, super simple. If you don't want to count macronutrients, you don't want to solve the Rubik's Cube, that's fine. You guys can always do it super simple by cutting your plate into 3 portions, and you guys can learn that.
And the plate method you do for your 3 meals?
You do it for every meal you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes I like that because they're like big meals. Other times someone's like, well, if I have a protein bar, does that mean I have to have peanut butter, spinach, and the bar? No, not really. Your main courses should be applied to the plate method. Great question. So, again, if you guys want to get leaner, how do we do that? We sleep, we drink less alcohol, we work out more, we actively eat, we manage stress and recover. What do we do after a really bad weekend? So, just like we said earlier, if you have a really bad weekend where you get super messed up, you have a whole bunch of chocolate, you love McFlurries, any of that, all you do is you just jump back on the bandwagon. That's it. That's all you can do, okay? There's nothing that's gonna reverse it. You're not gonna puke it all up a day later. You're not gonna out-exercise that, because if you tried, you wouldn't be in this class, okay? It doesn't work. You cannot over-exercise your amount. Question?
I was gonna say, when people say, I'm gonna work out my toxins or release the toxins, that's a myth, right? Or what?
It's a myth because it doesn't already do the damage that has already been done. So if I drink a whole bunch of alcohol, if I smoke a pipe of crystal meth, if I eat a Big Mac and have an Oreo on top of it, all of the ramifications that have happened while I've slept and as I've consumed them have already happened. The next day, all you're doing is you're sweating the excess of all of the damage that happened. So it's like getting shot in the face and you're like, yeah, but I put a Band-Aid on my paper cut. So super, not a myth, but also it really has no water to the argument, okay? If you guys do continuously get shot in the face, have crystal meth, or drink, or have Oreos, what you can realize is you're always triaging the same problem with calories. During COVID, if you guys were here during that time, I actually had a day where I was like, I'm gonna burn 5,000 calories, okay? And here's what happened. I did Murph in the morning, 1 mile, 100 pull-ups, 200 push-ups, 300 squats, ran another mile. I burned 600 calories. Crazy. I went home again, I rode an assault bike for 40 minutes, I burned 500 calories. So we're at 1,100. I back squatted a 6x6, I did it 185, and I think that only burned 235 calories. And then I would take a nap, shower, and then that was another 200 calories. My metabolism itself burns about 2,000 calories. I was at 3,600 calories, and it was 8 p.m. One of the guys that was over next door came over and he's like, you want to swing kettlebell for an hour? We did an hour-long EMOM. I burned 900 calories. I barely scratched 4,000 calories. So if you think that you can outwork your diet, you are sorely mistaken. I dare you to try. Yeah, there's people who run marathons who only burn 2,600 calories. So when everyone's like, but I walk at work. Yeah, that's really good because you do get activity, but you probably burn 70 calories. I do CrossFit for 1 hour a day. Wear a Whoop, wear an Apple Watch, wear an Oura Ring. At most, I guarantee you maybe burn 700 calories. Okay? You know what 700 calories looks like? Let me flirt. Like half a box of
He's like
goldfish.
subliminal messages.
Or like, I would say 2 pieces of pizza. I would say 3 mixed drinks. I would say 2 glasses of wine. I would say, what's another food you guys? What's a spoiled food you guys like? Daddy, what's a cheat meal for you?
Cooking?
It was hard to have.
Cookies? Okay, about 9 cookies. That's about that. Ice cream? Ice cream, it's about a quart. A quart of that is about that. Anybody else? Want to throw your favorite delicious, scrumptious cheat meal you do?
You did wine.
Wine, yeah, wine will get you, that sugar will work you up pretty quick. So that's how much exercise actually does compared to when we build muscle. What happens is your body gets to kickstart your metabolism. Your metabolism is your secret weapon. So my body, from waking up at like 4:30 to going to sleep at 9:30, I'm basically in bed, by itself, if I were not to work out, burns 2,000 calories. Pretty good. The reason it burns that many is because my body fat is at, I think last time I did it was 9%. So 91% of my body is muscle. That's what burns all day long. So when Easy asks, why do you stay so skinny? I say because I have a lot of muscle, okay? Why, when I work out, I burn more calories? That's literally just the cherry on top. So if you think that you can outwork it, you cannot. But if you can outwork it by building muscle, then literally you're making money by not doing anything. It's like making money while you sleep. All you have to do is just keep living and you're gonna keep making money. Okay, if you have the right investment. With your body, the investment is having muscle, is building and burning calories for you at all points in time. So if you did the body fat or the in-body that we did, everyone's starting to realize where or how much fat they had compared to their body. Margaret, you went into GNC to get their in-body shortly after, and what did they tell you? What did Rick tell you?
Told me I lost.
I believe it was 9 pounds, and your body fat percentage went down 7 points? 4%. So in 12 weeks, she shaved off 4% of her body fat. And what is that for your age group, if you don't mind me asking? It's excellent, that's what it is. So basically, they looked at her in-body, and they found out that she was in the 91st percentile of women at her age with muscle composition, okay? So remember, like, the older you get, the fatter you get, how we debunked that? Yeah, Margaret's like an example of that, okay? Because Margaret's like 1 or 2 years older than me, and she's not X amount of times that amount, okay? So building muscle is what helped Margaret throughout the last 12-week challenge lose 4% of body fat, which related to 9 pounds, okay? 9 pounds, correct? And then for her body, 1, she's strong, 2, she's in the 91st percentile. If you guys remember that whole school thing, that's what we call an A, okay? So basically all of that was kind of changed just in 12 weeks, okay? When it comes to a more scientific approach, and you guys actually want to like really get detailed in, like I said, the more, that one doesn't really apply to what I was saying. We're going to talk about macronutrients. When you guys start to do this, you have to understand what calories you get from nutrients, okay? If you go and you grab a gram, which is not heavy, a gram is like that much for all of you people who smoke weed. If you have that in chicken, protein, beef, protein shake, whatever it is, you realize that that gives you 4 calories. Okay, if I say you're gonna have 100 grams of protein, you are gonna have 400 calories in your diet that are protein, okay? The good thing about protein is when you eat it, it slowly burns and it kind of turns the ignition on, the fire to the flame to make your metabolism go. It also has benefits of building muscle, which is gonna continue to make that flame larger, okay? If you guys have carbs, 4 calories every single gram of carb that you have. If I have a sweet potato, a French fry, a McFlurry, ice cream, whatever it is, whatever that carb is, every single gram of that carb, you get 4 calories. If I have 100 grams of carbs, I have 400 calories of food, basically, or in my fat is going to be 9 grams, or 9 calories per gram. So if I have an avocado that has 100 grams of fat, it doesn't. But that means that now you have to multiply that number by 9. You have 900 calories per meal. So when you go to like More Brewery and you're like, I want the best burger they got with fries, if it has like 70 grams of fat in it, you have to multiply that number by 9, and then you start to see where that is. If you guys go to like, what is it? Like a Brazilian steakhouse and you get all that protein, all of those protein, that calorie amount is going up. So if somebody's on a 2,000 calorie diet, you can break that up in 4 for protein, 4 in carb, 9 in in fat, and then that's how your meals and your macros are made. So, for instance, all macros do not affect the same people the same way. I eat 165 grams of protein because I weigh 165 pounds and I'm trying to maintain my body weight, okay? I eat 280 grams of carbs because I exercise a lot, one time, sometimes 2, yeah. So those who have done macros, they go, damn, how do I get those numbers, okay? Because that's a lot.
Increased it by
Yeah,
20.
because that's a lot of carbs, okay? 280 for me, my fat is at 70, okay? And that equates to about 2,400 calories a day, okay? Fun fact, Yaz weighs 121. If she goes below 118, I break up with her for at least a day, because I want some meat to her, okay? But she eats 120 grams of protein per day. She eats 410 grams of carbs every single day.
That's a lot of rice.
And she's
And she's so lean, but because her output and her metabolism is so high, guess what? Fun fact, she only has 50 grams of fat.
What about Ange? Come on, Ange.
Ange, what's your macros?
Little T-girl.
150 grams of protein.
And Ange, what do you weigh?
150 pounds.
Exactly. Okay.
70 grams of fat, and I don't know what my carbs are, over 200, well over 200.
Yeah.
Like maybe closer to 3.
Is Ange fat?
no.
Is Yaz fat?
No.
Am I slightly fat? A
No.
little bit. I like goldfish a lot.
Maybe.
Okay.
She got a little bit of head.
So I eat more than people who are fat. I eat more than people who are skinny. I eat more than people who weigh what I weigh, but our composition is different based on the muscle amount that you have, the way you train, the exercise, the sleep, and the stress that you have. So, fun fact, I sleep much better than Yaz in 4 hours than Yaz sleeps in 9 hours. Super weird, okay? Yaz trains 2.5 times as much, no, I'd say 2 for sure times more than I do, yet we're at a very equivalent fitness level. Okay, because everybody reacts a little bit differently to the amount of foods that they have. Okay, they also, the way they sleep, I sleep 4 hours. I have over 2 hours of REM sleep. Yaz sleeps 9. Yesterday, I think she got 18 minutes of REM sleep. So, is that because she eats so many carbs? Maybe. Is it because she's an introvert? Maybe. Is it because she's Mexican? Maybe. Is it because
Hey.
It's true. It's true. Ethnicities have a genetic predisposition of how you sleep, how you eat, how your metabolism is. So, not racist, just like the word retarded, it actually has scientific background to it, okay? When you guys start to notice that my dog's, that one, sleeps on Yaz, that might be why she sleeps bad. If she twitches, that's probably why. If it's too hot in your room, that could be why. If you have too much stress, that could be why. If you had a hard workout, which Yaz works out double the amount that I do, that could be why she sleeps worse than I do. If you had alcohol, if you didn't, if you had high sugar, if you didn't, it all plays a fact. When you guys get like a Whoop, I don't get money by Whoop, by the way. If you guys get an Oura Ring, if you guys have an Apple Watch, you will discover your sleep cycles and what all of the factors that I just listed does to your sleep or to your eating or to your fitness, okay? So I do recommend, one of the things is to get some kind of wearable. Whoop, Oura Ring, Fitbit, Apple Watch, whatever the hell else is out there, I do recommend that. You will learn a lot about yourself and how your body works, and that's the reason why I haven't taken mine off in like 3 years. I don't get money, you can do it, you can buy it, I will give you no promo code. If you want, I'll give you a free month. I get a free month, I'll give you a deal. Yeah, Drew, you can take it from Drew. So you're knowing that I'm not biased. Yeah, I'm not biased to what it is. I just think that the more information you have for yourself, the better equipped you will be for success. Okay? So, any questions on that? when you guys do macros, here's one of the things that like the Rubik's Cube really stresses people out about. If I say, hey, Daddy, you need to get 100 grams of protein per day. Daddy's like, so I eat 2 meals a day, maybe 3, maybe 4. How do I do it? Any way you want. Technically, it's not gonna be, you're not gonna feel great. I can get 100 grams of protein in 1 meal. Now, you're gonna be real full. And you're for sure gonna have diarrhea. And you're for sure not gonna wanna move off the couch. So, is it best to eat it in one sitting? No, it's not ideal. Technically, your body can only metabolize about 30 grams of protein per meal per every 4 hours. So if I were to tell Denny, you need 100 grams of protein, split that up in 4 meals, you shut your mouth. Yeah, you shut it. So what that means is over 4 meals, Denny has to break up her protein amount in 25 gram increments, okay? Like we said, you're not gonna get that protein from yogurt, you're not gonna get it from nuts, you're gonna get it from chicken, you're gonna get it from protein, from beef. You have to go outside? You do. So the way you can do it is you split up your meals and you find out how much by either weighing it or the plate method, the recommended amount is going to be per protein. Let's grab a piece of chicken. A 5-ounce piece of chicken has generally 20 grams of protein. So Denny could eat 4.2, 4.4 ounces of chicken 4 times, and that would get her to that point. The problem with people with macros, when they get all flustered, is like, I'm a perfectionist, so if it doesn't go to 100 exactly, I'm doing it wrong. No, if you get 90% of your macros, so like if you get 90, or if you get 110, if you stay within a 10% range, either up or below, you're good, okay? It doesn't have to get 90 grams exactly on protein, 157 grams exactly on carbs, and 47 grams of fat. If you're gonna do that game, you're literally just gonna be like, okay, I need 2 spoons of peanut butter, I need olive oil, and then I need like a protein shake and only like 7 ounces of it. And a rice cake, okay? You're not gonna be able to do that. What you have to do is find your number. Let's say Jenny was 100. It's not, she gets to eat way more than that, and she has fun losing weight. And what happens is she says, how can I break up this 100 grams in X amount of meals in X amount of time, okay? And that's the most simple part. Too many people get too focused on, does my carbs match my protein, does my protein match my fat, and how do I do this every single day? And do I have to eat the same thing every single day? No, you can get there by drinking a goddamn glass of milk every single 2 hours if you want. You can get there by having rice cake and peanut butter. You can get that by going to, honestly, you can get it by going to McDonald's every single day. But what's gonna happen is you're gonna realize that the worse food choices you pick, the smaller the portions are gonna be, the less full you're gonna be, and the more hungry you're gonna be. So if I say I'm gonna eat all of my protein at 5 p.m., I'm gonna be starving until 5 p.m., and I'm gonna be in pain from 5 p.m. until 10, until the next 5 p.m., okay? So it's best as practice to find your number. Maybe I work out in the morning, okay? Maybe I work out in the evening. Find it on how it fits in your schedule. So I would never eat 10 ounces of chicken 1 hour before I work out, okay? I would never eat an entire, like, Chipotle burrito at 5 p.m. because I'm trying to wind down. I wouldn't go to a Brazilian steakhouse at 9 p.m. because I'm not gonna sleep. But what I would do, if I work out at 6 a.m., like maybe Coach Angela does, I would maybe have a banana and a protein shake just before. Something that's light, but super, super easy to digest. After, you can have as much protein as you want. I also wouldn't grab a lot of high carbs right before I go to sleep. You're gonna be awake, okay? So as you guys start to do that, you can start to manipulate. Fun fact, Yaz has 180 grams of carbs 35 minutes before she works out. If you don't know what that looks like, that's like probably 3 bananas. Imagine eating that. It's probably, yeah, bananas are high. They're like 35 grams per banana, something like that, something like that. If you do that, it might be honey, sweet potatoes, nuts, and maybe a drink that literally is a supplement that's just pure carbs, okay? But the reason that she does that is because she's gonna work out for 2.5 to 3 hours plus, okay? If you're not gonna work out for 2.5 hours, 3 hours plus, you should not eat 185 grams or X amount of carbs at one sitting. Does that make sense? So when people are super confused about macros and how they work, it's not that difficult. It's super simple. You just gotta like understand like here's the numbers. I can break it down the day before or the day of, and it doesn't all have to be at one time. It doesn't have to be all in one meal. You just have to simply find a way to find those numbers that will equate to the number that you guys are working to. Does that make sense? Okay. Has anybody struggled with macros before? If they tried to do it? Okay. So that's basically why, is because you're putting too much emphasis on making sure that every single thing is perfect. Okay? Or maybe you're not, or it could be this. Norma works from 5 a.m. till 8 p.m. She's not allowed to have 5 meals per day. So it's really hard to get 100 grams of protein at 4 a.m. and then once again at 9 o'clock. But it's super simple because we can say, well, there's these things called protein shakes. You just shake that bitch up a little bit, you just drink it, and you can have that at work. There's 30 grams. There's this and that. You can have a steak or a piece of chicken at these times. You just gotta find the right method of madness that will affect how you eat and how you eat. Any questions on that? Yeah. Okay, so the question was, what is the best thing to have pre-workout? I would say you should have a 70 to maybe 70 to 80% carb. That's a high glycemic index, okay? White bread, banana, any fruit. You know, there's not many carbs in rice cakes, so it's okay, it's a carb, but it's not gonna give you a lot of energy, okay? One thing that I think is the best pre-workout meal ever, right? If you're on baking, a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. PB&J. Super easy, super quick, fat, carbs, high carb, and slightly a little bit of protein. I would say about 70-80% high carb, 20% protein, okay?
One bread or 2 breads?
2 breads, for sure. Yeah, and I go sushi on it. I'll get like some delicious ass bread. Okay? So, oak nut, whatever you guys want. So, when you guys work out, and what do you have every time before you commit to class? Banana or a go-go juice, which is basically applesauce. Okay? Something that's quickly digestible and also high in the glycemic index, aka pushes your insulin up. The one thing that's really cool about like pre-workouts or eating banana or having coffee before you work out, you look yoked. All of a sudden you're like, oh my god, how many cocaine veins do I have? Okay? It's because your blood sugar is moving ramped up to allow you to work out and to allow you to have energy and not crash. How many of us in this class have done an EMOM that's really hard, and then you did one power clean and you just saw like streamers, right? Or you're like, Jesus, I almost passed out. It's because you are not sufficiently fueled, okay? And if you're not sufficiently fueled for your workout, you can't get all the bang for your buck in the workout, you're kind of like defeating the purpose, okay? So that's why today I chose not to work out, because I knew that I was being heavily stressed, underfed, I didn't sleep well last night, and I'd rather not damage my recovery or my body more than what I would have already done by committing to the workout, which is supposedly going to reward me, okay? So managing stress, managing what you eat, manage how you recover is just as important as working out. So if you feel like shit, go home. Go to sleep. Manage your stress. Eat better. Set yourself up for the next day. If you're in this all for nothing, all or nothing, you're going to do more damage to your end goal by trying to do what you think is best, okay? A lot of the reasons that people fail is because they grab what they want right now more than what they want most. Let's say that again. They do what they want right now more than what they want the most, okay? That makes me so good when I get home, okay? That drink is going to be so worth it after the shitty day that I just had. That workout is going to be so good after the 15 hours of overtime I had, okay? The money that I'm going to make doing that second job that's going to make me sleep until like 2 a.m. is going to be so much not worth it compared to what you're going to get if you sleep, recover, invest your time, and do it. Okay? So, do your best to withdraw from what you want right now, pizza, wine, more brewery, like staying up late, watching a game, doing an extra workout, or just whatever it is, because you're trying to work with something new. Okay? The investment is worth it. You just gotta train yourself to not get what you want right now if you actually want to get what you want. Yeah, so post-workout, great question. What should your post-workout consume of? Actually, it should be higher protein. This actually is perfect right here. So before you work out, let's see. That one's not too good. But I would say for muscle gain, which our goal is 20% fat, about 35% protein, 45% almost half should be carbs. Okay? Now, I thought you said carbs were only fuel for your workout or for brain power. Okay, true, but it's actually like the dump truck that takes all the material to the building. Okay? The material that you need to make a house is the protein. The carbs that you have is the transportation that takes it to bloodstream, muscle, brain, all that stuff. Okay? Now, you should be smart about the carbs that you intake after a workout. The goal that we did before the workout was to get really amped up, okay? High sugar, high glycemic index. What you should do post a workout is something that's slower or lower on the glycemic index, which is something like a sweet potato, which is something like brown rice, quinoa, or something else that's slow burning. And if you guys want, just look up on the glycemic index, use the thing. It's crazy, we're like androids now. This thing goes to space and comes back with information in like half a second. So if you want to be like, hey, what's the glycemic index of this? We all have one, okay? So super simple. Just go ahead and grab something that's moderate or lower towards that, and then you should have a little bit of fat. Maybe throw some peanut butter on there, maybe throw an avocado, ham, olive oil, nuts, whatever you want. So I would say 45% carbs post-workout, 35% protein, 20% fat, roughly within those numbers, okay? This is a really good one for every single person's goal. Weight loss. You should have 35 to 50% of your daily intake in protein. Okay? If I want to lose weight, I need to build muscle, I need to fuel my muscle. High protein carbs are going to be low because the reason that is, has anybody ever tried to eat an entire ribeye steak? It's pretty hard. I'm not saying that it's impossible, I'm not saying I don't do it, but it's way harder to do that than to eat 2 bowls of cereal, okay? Or chips, yeah. Or even drink alcohol. Like, how many people have ever drank 9 glasses of wine or like 10 shots, blah, blah, blah? It's super simple because it's super combustible and it's super quick energy and it's generally not very heavy. A ribeye steak, you put that shit in your hand, it is heavy. So it means it's heavy to digest. An apple, super light. Okay, banana, super light. Alcohol, super light. So it goes down quick, which is why people gain so much weight, because they consume so much of it so quickly that before they're actually full, they're like, oh shit. I think everything I just ate was like 2,000 calories, okay? Can't do that with the steak. You go to a Brazilian steakhouse, you maybe get like 4 things, and you're like, dude, it's up to you, okay? That, same way. If you want to be like satious or you want to be full, have a lot of fat. Throw like 3 things of guac and chips, you're gonna be full real quick, okay? So, if you're trying to do maintenance, if I just want to be 165 of exactly what I am right now, I'm gonna have 25 to 40% protein. I'm gonna have another quarter of that be fat, maybe a little bit higher, and then my carb amount is gonna be 35 to 55%, depending on my workout lifestyle, okay? I know that 4 to 5 times a week, I'm gonna work out 2.5 hours. It's just my lifestyle, okay? If that wasn't my lifestyle, I'd maybe bring that carb number down closer to the 35%, and I would possibly move up the fat amount, okay? But remember, 4 calories for carbs, 4 calories for protein, 9 for fat, 7 for alcohol, and 7 for alcohol is literally the only thing that negatively impacts you with 0 positive impact. Maybe you'll have great stories, maybe you'll be the coolest guy or girl that night, but like literally that's it. And like you can look forward to cancer, liver cancer, bad sleep, bad stress, loss of money, and headaches and all that stuff. So like, I'm not trying to be like, or you gotta be the sweetest person ever, but like I'm just telling you, alcohol is shit. And to be honest, like it really doesn't taste that good. And that's like a lie that don't say. Like you would not be like, man, after a workout, I really need a tequila shot.
Oh yeah.
You wouldn't say that. That's a bold-faced lie. Okay. I mean, I do, but still, it's not good. It's just something that kind of gets us in a different setting, or personality, or a different mood, or like it's just how you have fun. And that's fine if that is, but like I'm telling you, it's just not good for you if you have a end goal. Okay? So for percentages, I'll give you guys all those numbers. We're gonna create a Facebook page. Even if you guys don't have a Facebook page, I can send this to you guys via email. And it's gonna be a 12-week program. Every single week we're gonna have check-in. Every single person will get a personalized meal plan, not to tell you what to eat, but to show you and teach you how to eat. If I said, Jesse, you're only gonna eat chicken, broccoli, and asparagus and an avocado, then that's the only item that she has. She has limited knowledge, and then when I stop working with her, or when she stops eating that, all of our progress is gonna go away, okay? The thing that led to the most success with the 12-week challenge is people were learning that you can eat whatever you want as long as it is in certain numbers. If they didn't have knowledge on how to fix, how to do macros, they reached out to me, we educated them. To make it fun, we had Norma that was like cheerleading everybody, and we had a group and a community, which is why you guys work out here, because it's really hard to work out by yourself. I'm really thin, and that's like an egotistical thing to say. I'm really, really disciplined, because I chose a sport in college that made me really disciplined. I fucking hate working out. I really do. I can't do it well. I can't do it well for a long period of time, which is why we're in a group. So the Facebook page, the text messages, the people that we have in the gym, when you start to see Facebook updates, when you start to see other people's success, when you start to get education from other people and helpful extra workouts, all of a sudden it becomes more successful, okay? So each and every single week, you guys will get a check-in, you guys will get a pretty detailed response from me. You can tell it's super personal because when you guys do it, you'll notice as Margaret, as Norma, as anybody who did it, Daddy, like I really get into, hey, this is your problem, let's fix it. Hey, this is your response. Hey, I noticed Irene, you really did this. Hey, great job, blah, blah. You'll really get a personalized kind of like response back to it. There will be surprises as you start to yeah. And then basically, each and every single week, we're gonna lay out maybe a recipe for you guys to try, and you guys can manipulate that to whatever macros you are. So if I say we're gonna have like a burrito, you can say, well, I need to hit this amount, I'll put this much more protein in it compared to what you did. Or we'll just explore your kitchen work. If you have a crock pot, if you have a stove, if you have an air fryer, if you have a Ninja blender, all that stuff. The goal is to educate yourself to acquire skills that will prevent you from going to the poor choices. Okay? If you have education, if you have skills, all of a sudden you're now not indispensable and you have more options. Okay? So 12 weeks, we'll start the challenge. We're going to start next Monday. If you guys want to be a part of it, we're going to shoot. What did we charge last time? 35 bucks? 25? 25 bucks. None of that goes to my profit. It all went to Daddy. She got 2 bags of protein, 2 things of pre-workout, and like some other stuff. And then she also got hold on. She lost 30 pounds. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Chair.
What I did is I did it. I thought I ate healthy, so the first day I was like, I'm gonna eat what I normally do, and I'm gonna see where I'm at. By lunchtime, I had hit my carbs. I was so obsessed with what am I supposed to do the whole day? What am I gonna eat? But then I started doing. I was like, I need to plan ahead because if I do it as I go along, it's gonna set me to fail. So I did a spreadsheet and I separated them by breakfast, snacks, lunch, dinner. And I kind of maneuvered to make sure that I had like enough in each meal of each. So it worked for me, and I would pre-plan it ahead of time. Nobody at work can offer me anything. Don't offer me anything. I already knew what I had to eat. Don't offer me anything, you know? And it worked really good for me. Another thing that worked for me is a Bluetooth scale that I would just get on in the morning. It does have like the little sensors in your feet. And I would just open my app, get on, and it'll automatically take into account muscle mass or whatever you keep track of. But it helped me just keep track, and that way you don't have to write it down or do it on your own. You'll see your progress then.
So what did she do? Every single step that I said, she's making a system. She made it super attractive. She made there be a cue. She made it super obvious. When she didn't know, she'd seek knowledge. And then she had support, and she had fun. Every single question that's been up here has been answered by that entire system of what Denny just said and the whatever 90 minutes to 2 hours that I just said. So every single nutrition question that you have comes down to the system that you set up as well as what you actually implement. If I gave Manny the winning numbers to the next week's lottery, if he doesn't buy the ticket, he can have whatever he wants, but he's not getting that. if you don't implement the shit that you just learned, you just literally have the key to the gate that doesn't exist. Okay? You have to fucking do it. You can't be like, well, I mean, now I know how. It doesn't happen, okay? Because again, it all happened because of Debbie. It all happened because of the work she did. It all happened because of the knowledge that she sought out from the group, from myself, from the internet, from
The support.
the scale, from everything. It's all about implementation, okay? You can have the winning lottery ticket, but if you don't buy a ticket, you're not gonna cash out, okay? So you have to be honest with yourself. You have to make it obvious. You have to make it sexy. You have to make it fun. You have to seek knowledge. You have to implement it, okay? You can know where the gym is. You can know, yeah, you have to want it. You can know where the weights are. You can know how to shoot a basketball, but if you don't do it, you will not get the success that is laid out and put out in front of you. Does that make sense? Cool. So guys, that is Flexible Nutrition. That is the focus of what we're gonna do. We'll start up next week. I'm gonna email everybody that was at this meeting. I'll give you guys more information on it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I hope your host didn't suck too bad. McFlurries are delicious, but it
Are you trying to push that out of this point?
I'm just telling you that like here's the thing that I'm trying to push with that. Is McFlurries taste really good for me too. Okay? McFlurries are really bad for me too. Okay? Fitness is something that's hard for me too. In fact, I would argue that fitness is harder for me than it is for all of you. Because the better you get at it, the more painful that shit is. Trust me, okay? So what I'm trying to implement is I'm not perfect, and I'm no different than you guys. It hurts more for me, maybe, right? That's egotistical. And also, it's harder for me. It's hard for me to resist urges. And I don't come from a family that's just super lean, super ripped, super athletic. I don't come from an educated family of nutrition chefs and all that stuff. I didn't have chances. It's all about what you do and how you take it, and it really is hard for me. Yaz is like kind of weird, and it's like she craves fresh shit. She also like is allergic to fun, but she literally does the work, okay? And that's why she's more fit than me, because she puts in the work. Because she doesn't crave what I crave, and even if she does, she's like, I'm just not gonna go out. I'm just not gonna grab this. I'm gonna make it a priority to sleep. I'm gonna make it a priority to eat well. I'm gonna make it a priority to recover. I'm gonna make it a priority to not have stress. I'm gonna make it a priority to do that because that's what she really wants, and that's what I really want. So again, pizza's great. I love that shit, okay? Alcohol is super fun. I get it, but I know how damaging it is. Sleeping bad is not something ideal, but it does happen to me. Am I motivated to work out every day? To be honest, there was 2 years where I wanted this gym to fail. I was hoping that it failed so I could just sell it because it wasn't fun for me and it was hard for me to work out and I gained weight and I was in less fitness shape than some of my clients. But until I started to find out why it was fun, find out why I wanted to do it, what I was honestly doing wrong in the company and in the business, it didn't accelerate until I accepted that and I put a plan together and I had a system. And now, as you guys can see, everybody's having fun, everybody's getting fit, everybody's seeking knowledge, and this gym is only growing internally and organically. Okay, so my point of the McFlurries, my point about drinking, my point about eating, my point about discipline and motivation is that I'm human too, and I don't just wake up ripped. Okay, I don't wake up strong. I don't wake up motivated. I don't wake up not tired. I don't wake up not craving foods that you guys crave and indulge and enjoy. Okay, so that's really the reason that I'm kind of pounding the McFlurries. That's why I'm pounding the goldfish. That's why I'm pounding drinking, the alcohol, the workouts, all that stuff. Because I'm human too. Yas is human too. Angie's human too. And everybody has all these things that are weaknesses that we've either taken away so that they're no longer an attractive item, or we've implemented so that we maybe can have less time to do so, or it's something that we've implemented like Daddy did to continuously and nonstop compound interest make her life better. Does that make sense? So that's where the McFlurries is from, that's where the Cheez-Its are from, the goldfish, the drinking, all that stuff. It's just to show you guys that I am human too, all the coaches are human too. Angela loves chocolate, she has it like what, every other night?
I have dark chocolate every night.
Dark chocolate every night.
Oh my god.
Has anybody seen Angie in a crop top? She's yoked, she's super ripped, she's super lean. She has chocolate every single night, okay? So that's the point of all that. I hope you guys had a great talk. If you guys enjoyed the 2 hours, I hope it was at least helpful. And if you guys want to take advantage of it, you can be like Delicious, you can be like Irene, you can be like Mom, you can be like Dee, you can be like Norma, you can be like Faye, you can be like a whole bunch of people who have had success. Drew, you had some pretty good success too. And if you guys do it, I promise you guys, I will commit as hard as you commit. There is a few members that are here that they were like, yo, I just fucking didn't do it. Loved everything about it, I just didn't do it. And like, they'll say it. And then when it ended, I was pissed. And then when it ended, I started to do it, and then it worked. You have to do it. You have to take responsibility. You have to want it. That's all. So, thank you guys for coming, and you guys are good to go. Cool.